So you're an author or other type of creator, and you know you should be using video to promote your craft, but it just doesn't feel natural. It feels awkward, and you're wondering yourself, do I have to do something terribly embarrassing in order for people to actually read my book? Well, the answer to that is no, and that's actually the topic of today's podcast and the article that this podcast is based on. Hi, everybody. My name is Mark. I am the owner at filmandlearning.com, and for the last 20 plus years, I've worked with companies and small creators to help them get better at what they do, to sell more, to tell a better story by using video. And in this podcast today, I have a personal interest because my wife is going to be a newly published author here in a few months. And so I thought I'd put together a master list for you, honey. So for this one, I'm going to have Grayson and Maya give you their thoughts and reflections on this article, and I will circle back to you guys at the end.
Today, we're getting into something that seems to cause a lot of authors maybe a bit of stress. Video.
Yeah, video for authors.
Yeah.
And we're drawing heavily from Mark over at filmandlearning.com. He actually put this stuff together initially for his wife, who's an author.
Right. And then realized, hey, this could probably help a lot more people, both writers trying to, figure out video and maybe video folks creating content for authors.
Exactly. So if you're an author kind of dreading the camera, or you're a video maker trying to nail that author content, well, this deep dive is for you. We're aiming for straightforward and effective here.
Because let's be honest, the idea of making videos, it often feels like, okay, I know I should, but maybe I can just not. Mark even uses this funny analogy about it feeling like a weird rash you hope goes away.
Yeah, but he also says it's pretty much essential now. But, and this is key, it's not about becoming some kind of TikTok star overnight or needing like a massive film budget.
That's a relief.
Totally. His main point really is that video for authors is fundamentally about connection, building trust, showing up authentically. It's about impact, not necessarily fancy editing or viral trends.
Okay, so connection over clicks in a way. Let's unpack that. Mark's first big piece of advice is think beyond the book. What does that actually mean in practice?
Well, it means your videos shouldn't just be constant ads saying, buy my book, buy my book. Instead, you want to focus on creating stuff that gives people value, something that connects with them.
So things related to the book's themes, maybe, or the writing journey itself.
Exactly. Stuff that resonates with your readers' interests. This builds like long-term trust. It's relationship building, not just pushing a product.
Right. Relationship first, sales might follow, which kind of leads perfectly into the next point. Use story, not sales pitch. Why is story so much more powerful? Because
we're wired for stories, aren't we? People remember how you made them feel, the emotions you evoked, way more than like a list of book features or some marketing line. Yeah, and Mark gives some great examples. Like if you write about trauma recovery, sharing a bit of your own relevant journey. Wow, that's powerful. Or, a romance writer reading just one flirty line out loud.
Captures the vibe instantly.
Right. Or even a sci-fi author talking about the weird dream that sparked a subplot. It hooks people emotionally in a way a sales pitch just can't.
So you give them a reason to connect with you, the person, and the ideas behind the book. Okay, so if an author's thinking, all right, I'm convinced I need to do this, when should they start? Mark says, be seen early and often.
Yeah, his advice is basically start before the book even comes out.
Really? Before launch?
Definitely. Lets you build some buzz, introduce yourself, get people interested before the book drops. It's like warming up the audience so they're actually excited when the book arrives. You're not just shouting into the void on launch day.
Okay, priming the pump early. Now, the tech stuff, this is where people often get nervous, right? Mark talks about prioritizing sound and light. Does that mean breaking the bank on gear?
No, not at all. And he's really clear about this. It's a common myth. Look, fancy cameras are nice, sure, but the absolute must-haves, clear sound and decent light.
Okay.
People will forgive slightly grainy video, but if they can't hear you clearly, they're gone. And the good news is, good sound and light are actually pretty achievable on a budget.
How so?
Well, light. Just face a window. Natural light is your friend, and it's free. For sound, even a simple plug-in mic for your phone or computer, or sometimes just the mic on your headset, can be a massive improvement over the built-in laptop mic. It doesn't have to be expensive.
That's really encouraging. Free window light, affordable mic. Okay, another tip is record in private first. That sounds like solid advice for camera shyness.
Oh, absolutely. It's all about just getting comfortable without the pressure of hitting publish. Talk to your camera, watch it back. Maybe cringe a little at first, that's okay, but get used to seeing and hearing yourself. It's like rehearsing.
Makes sense. Build that confidence privately. And while you're recording, Mark says, look at the lens. Why that tiny little dot specifically? It feels unnatural sometimes.
Because that little dot is the viewer's eye, essentially. Looking right into it creates that feeling of direct eye contact, which builds connection and trust. If you're looking at yourself on the screen, you kind of look distracted or less engaged with the person watching.
Ah, okay. So lens equals eye contact. Got it. What about energy? He mentions boost your energy.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. The camera tends to, well, flatten your natural energy a bit. What feels normal and enthusiastic in person can look a little low-key on video. So you just need to consciously dial it up, maybe like 10 or 15%. Not over the top, just a bit more enthusiasm than you might normally feel is necessary. Helps you come across as more engaging.
Bring a little extra sparkle. Okay, now this next point feels like a big mental shift. Stop thinking like a salesperson. Start thinking like a guide.
Yes. This reframes the whole thing, doesn't it? Mark actually quotes Paul Rizzo here, talking about defining your mission, not just your message. People follow authors often because they offer something more than just a book.
Like what?
Insights, maybe inspiration, a feeling of being understood, or just being part of a community around certain ideas. Your video becomes a way to be that guide, to share that value that extends beyond just the plot of your novel.
Be the guide, not the hawker. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get super practical. Setting up that first video, what are the absolute basics Mark recommends?
Okay, first, we already mentioned it. Face a window for that good, free, natural light.
Check.
Second, get your camera to eye level. And he's very down to earth here. Stack up some books, use a cereal box, whatever it takes to lift your phone or laptop. You really want to avoid that shot looking up your nose.
Yeah, nobody needs that. He even joked about Ryan Gosling not looking good from that angle.
Exactly. So eye level is key. Then remember to look at the lens, that little black circle.
Right, the viewer's eye.
Yep. And maybe sit forward a little bit. It just conveys engagement, like you're leaning into the conversation. And finally, always, always, always check your sound. Test it. A cheap mic is way better than muffled audio.
Simple, doable steps. Love it. Okay, what about what to actually say? Mark emphasizes being useful, clear, and brief. He suggests some time frames.
Yeah, he does. And they're pretty helpful guidelines. Like if you're sharing just one quick tip, aim for maybe 30 seconds.
Okay.
Got a short story or a little behind the scenes thing, maybe 60 to 90 seconds works well. And if you're reading a short book excerpt or telling a slightly longer personal anecdote with a point, keep it around 2 to 3 minutes tops. It's about respecting people's time, you know, keep it tight.
Very useful benchmarks. And I like this idea he mentions, the accordion method from Paul Rizzo. What's that about?
A great little preparation trick. Basically, you prepare your main point or story in 3 different lengths. A really short version, a medium version, and a longer version.
Ah, okay. Why, yeah.
Flexibility. It means you're ready for anything. Got 30 seconds on one platform, use the short version. Have a couple of minutes for a different video, use the medium or longer one. You can adapt easily. For authors, it means having like a quick elevator pitch, a slightly longer summary, and maybe a more detailed explanation ready to go.
That's super smart. Always be prepared. Okay, let's get into these 6 author-friendly video ideas that aren't cringe. That not cringe part is pretty important, I think.
Definitely the goal. Okay, first one. A tip you'd text a friend.
What does that look like?
Super simple, really casual. Just share one small, actionable piece of advice. Could be about writing, overcoming writer's block, a research trick, maybe something related to your book's themes, delivered like you're just chatting with a mate. Keep it friendly and helpful.
Easy enough. Next, a vibe reel of your book. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, this one's more atmospheric, especially good for fiction, Mark notes. It's not a plot summary trailer. It's about capturing the feeling, the mood of your book, using visuals like stock clips, photos, maybe short snippets you film paired with evocative music, and maybe just one powerful line of text from the book. It's about immersing someone in the world or the emotion of the story.
I like that, focusing on the feeling. Okay, number 3, pack orders or sign books. Really, people watch that.
Apparently, yes. There's something weirdly satisfying about watching the physical book process. Showing yourself packing up books to mail out or signing copies. It gives that behind-the-scenes peek, makes it feel more personal. Plus, Mark jokes about the satisfying sound of bubble wrap.
Huh. Maybe he's right. Okay, number 4, answer a reader's question. This seems like a no-brainer for engagement.
Totally. Got questions in your emails, social media comments, DMs. Turn them into video content. It shows you're listening and you're providing answers people are actually asking for, answering about a character's choice or your inspiration.
Great way to generate content ideas too. Okay, 5. Tell a story, not a summary. We talked about story before, but reinforce it here.
Yeah, it's about hooking people with a personal narrative instead of just giving the book description from the back cover. Share a relevant anecdote from your own life, like Mark's example of a childhood memory shaping his writing. Connect on that human level first.
Authenticity again. And the last one, number 6, day in the life clip.
This is pretty low pressure. Just short, casual snippets of your author life, maybe filming your feet, walking while you think, your messy desk, your coffee cup. You can overlay it with a quick thought, a quote, or just some nice music. It just humanizes you.
These all feel very achievable, actually, not intimidating. Now, what about using video alongside ads? Mark says ads plus video, a smart combo. How do they work together?
Well, think about it like Mark's analogy. Video lets people kind of get to know you before you ask them on a date, which is the ad asking them to buy the book.
Ah, the pre-date connection.
Exactly. If someone's seen a short video of you, feels like they know you a tiny bit, they're probably more receptive when they see an actual ad for your book later. It builds a little familiarity and trust first.
Okay, but there's a catch, right? The pre-ad checklist. What needs to be solid before you run video ads?
Crucial point. First, your book blurb needs to be tight, compelling a great hook. Second, your cover have to look professional and absolutely fit your genre. It's the first impression.
Right.
And third, you really need some social proof. Aim for at least, say, 25 solid reviews or ratings. If someone clicks your ad, they need to land on a book page that looks credible and well-received. Don't send them to an empty room, basically.
Build a foundation first. Makes sense. And video isn't just for ads, right? He mentions it fills the gaps.
Yeah, exactly. Ads might bring new people in, but regular, organic video content, the stuff you share on your timeline or in your newsletter, that's what builds loyalty with the readers you already have.
Yeah.
It keeps them engaged between launches, nurtures that connection.
Okay, moving into some pro tips you didn't ask for. Always the best kind. First one, practice in private. And he suggests using Zoom.
Yeah, it's a clever, simple trick. Just open a Zoom meeting with yourself and hit record. Talk to the camera, practice your points, then watch it back. It's a safe space to see how you come across, work out the kinks, get over that initial awkwardness without anyone else seeing.
That's super practical. Next pro tip, make a swipe file. What's that?
It's basically saving examples of other author videos you think work really well. See an author doing something cool on video? Save it. Analyze why it works. Is it the editing? The message? The energy?
So like research.
Exactly. Frame it as research. You're not copying, you're learning what resonates, finding inspiration for your own unique style.
Smart. Okay, final pro tip. Repetition isn't repetitive to new followers.
Oh, this is so important online. You might feel like you're saying the same thing sometimes, but remember, new people are finding you all the time. They haven't heard your core message or your key story before, so it's okay to revisit important themes. Just maybe find fresh ways to say them. Don't assume everyone saw it the first time.
Good reminder, the audience is always changing. Okay, let's wrap up with Mark's final video tips for authors. What's the closing message?
It really comes back to the core idea. You don't need to be some big influencer. Just be a guide. Share your stories, your knowledge, be authentic, have a little courage. Consistent, short, valuable videos often mean more than just occasional big promotional pushes. Start small, be real, and don't overthink the video part too much. Save the overthinking for your characters and plots.
Huh. Good advice. Okay, so summing up this deep dive based on Mark's insights, video for authors is really about connection, authenticity, and providing value, isn't it? Not just selling.
Absolutely. A simple setup, genuine content that's way more powerful long-term than slick production without a real heart behind it. Just show up as you are and share something that matters.
Right. So a final thought for everyone listening, whether you're the author or the video creator supporting one, what's the one core message you really want to share through video? Or maybe the one story that you think would truly connect with your ideal reader or client?
Yeah, maybe figuring that out is the perfect place to start your video journey.
So there you have it. It doesn't have to be complex. It just needs to be natural. You're not selling, you're just relating. If you are building relationships, people will want to buy from you. Much easier to think of it that way than, hey everybody, buy my stuff. I also have another article that I will link down below that is called How to Build a Raving Fan Base. That's another great one to read about how to interact with your audience and build those relationships. It's also another video on my YouTube channel. You can find all of that linked down below in the show notes, and you can also find it on filmandlearning.com. Thank you so much for hanging with us for this podcast episode, and I look forward to catching you all in the next one.